roles in high school musicals and local productions, and singing with Broadway superstar Kristin Chenoweth. And she's only a sophomore at Springboro High School. Hi, I'm Maureen Russell Hodson, and this is Springboro Here and There. We are here at Springboro High School Auditorium, along with Addison Haines, and girl, you're having a moment.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Let's talk about this opportunity that you had to sing with Kristin Chenoweth.
Yes. I mean, I met her a couple years ago at her Broadway boot camp. I was honored to get in. I was an 8th grader, so it was one of those where you see it online, and my parents said, why not?
Give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot.
Before you go on to that, let's tell folks who may not know who Kristin Chenoweth is.
Kristin Chenoweth, she originated the role of Glinda on Broadway, and since then, that was not her first role. She's been on like Good Man Charlie Brown. That's a great one. She was Sally in that.
She has such a long and fabulous Broadway career, and then an actress, and she's funny and charming and wonderful and everything that's great about musicals, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we'll set the stage.
Yes.
And then you had this you saw this online?
We saw this online. My parents said, why not?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you don't get in your first year. Let's just give it a shot and see what happens. And I was about to audition for Freaky Friday and Music Man, and my parents said, you can't do the show. And I said, why? And they said, well, Addie, you just got into this camp. Which was crazy. And I remember they just kind of like set down the list of people that got in front of me, and I looked at it for a minute and I started crying. I went, I'm not on this. Why'd you give this to me? And they said, oh, and they took a highlighter and highlighted it, so then I wouldn't get tripped up again. But
I'm sure emotions had the best of you at that time.
Of course, yes. Yeah. And then a couple months later, we got an email, and they said, oh, this is going to be a documentary as well. So they're working on that now. I don't know. I think they're trying to set it to come out 2024.
Okay.
But they brought cameras. It was awesome. But, you know, it was just this experience of meeting people that are just like you and getting to be somewhere where you just feel safe, because you don't always get that. And being somewhere with everyone who loves something just as much as you do and works just as hard as you do was such a surreal feeling.
Theater is really a passion,
it
right?
Very much is,
and you have to want to do it.
You have to want it to be good at it.
Tell us about some of the other productions that you've been in, and I know you're working on one right now here at the high school. I'm
in Play That Goes Wrong here at the high school right now. Next weekend is our show. And, you know, I was in Mamma Mia last year, which freshman year to get Sophie Sheridan was amazing. And, you know, I love Mamma Mia. I always have. I used to watch it with my mom, and I always loved Amanda Seyfried, which I also got to play recently, Karen, who is another one of her many great characters. So it was just, there's so many roles that you get to play. I'm Judy in 9 to 5 right now, which Jane Fonda, and that show is so important to everything that is.
And that's with the Muse Machine, right?
Muse Machine's 9 to 5. I'm Judy, and she's Jane Fonda's little, she goes from a big mouse to a big, how did our director describe it? He said a mouse to a big lion. And she has this growth in the show, and it's just a beautiful role to play. And it's just, 9 to 5 is such an important show just for women in general. It's just a show of women fighting back, and I love that.
Have you seen yourself grow from last year as a freshman, then you do this camp?
Yeah,
now the sky's the limits, right?
Yeah, for my 8th grade year, I've really grown as a human, I think, and I think that's really helpful with theater, because I didn't used to talk to people. I used to just kind of sit in the corner, but now I can finally go up to people and be a leader, and I can be a leader and I can help people out, and that makes me just feel great, because you see people that you looked up to when you were younger, and you see these younger kids, and you can just go up to them and help them, and it's just such a great feeling to feel where you've come from to where you are now. And
that's probably one of the goals of Kristin Chenoweth's camp, I would imagine.
Oh, of course it is,
And you did sing with her as well. Tell us about that experience.
So, because of the camp, they put on a list of where everyone's from, because it was kids from all over the country, even cross country. There was a girl from London. And so they kind of put us all on a list of where we're from, and wherever she would travel, she would sometimes just go ahead and pick out a kid. And I was the only kid from Ohio my year. And I remember we got a text from her assistant, and he said, "Hey, is Addie up for Singing for Good with Kristin on Saturday?" And I...
Whoa, what?
Yeah, my mom kind of handed me the phone, showed me the text, and I just kind of looked at it for a minute, and I said, "I don't know the words to this." And she said, "Go figure it out." But then, I worked for a week. I panicked the night before, as one does, and I woke up the next morning. I had a full breakdown the night before. I woke up and I said, "Well, we're gonna do this." I went to a Mean Girls rehearsal. We ran Act 2, and then I left to go get my hair and makeup done. And I remember going, and we got to do mic check with Kristin. And I remember walking out, and she doesn't listen to the people who perform with her sing before, because she wants to be a big surprise of who they are and what they do.
Okay.
And I remember I walked out, and she was just singing. And the thing with Kristin's mic check is she doesn't practice a beginning of every song. She doesn't practice the levels on that. She just sings, and whatever comes out of her mouth, they will check it with that. She was singing songs she wasn't even doing in the show. And it was, to see that process on someone who is so infamous, and just seeing that process, it's crazy, because you're like, oh, one day, hopefully that will be me. Mm-hmm. And how she learned to do this is just amazing.
And you are in training as well, right? I'm
yes.
assuming you take vocal lessons.
Yes,
and
I do. I take vocal lessons every week. I take acting lessons every once in a while, just to get myself ahead, mm-hmm. and just to prepare for college auditions. I have like a college audition coach. I go to training camps every summer to prepare myself for college audition season, my senior year, and I've been doing that since my 8th grade year with Kristin Chenoweth. But last year I went to TPAP, the Performing Arts Project, and that was a great experience as well, because again, it's another place with all your friends, and I had some of my friends from Muse Machine go with me, and it was just great.
So obviously then you're going to go on to college and study musical theater, I take it, with the ultimate goal of being on Broadway?
Yes, Broadway is my main goal. However, I will take work where I can get it in this industry. I would love to tour. I would love to be on cruises. I mean, all the opportunities you get in musical theater is amazing.
Well, before we close, what advice would you give to your younger self when you were just that shy little girl getting ready to maybe take a step into auditions?
I would think breathe is one of them. I breathe, and then also just be kind to everyone, because I remember everyone who helped me before auditions, and the older kids that would sit with you and they would walk you through it. And those people will forever be in my memory of, oh, that's who I want to be. And I just think being kind and just stepping out to everyone is just amazing.
All right, well, remember this name, Addison Haines. You can see her at 9 to 5.
9 to 5 in January.
Okay.
Play That Goes Wrong, November 10th, 11th, 12th.
Okay, right here at Springboro High School. And we wish you all the best, because we know we'll keep looking for your name. And be kind. That's a great little bit of advice for everyone. For more information, you can always go to the Springboro High School website for tickets, or you can check us out, ci.springboro.oh.us. We'll see you next time, and we're looking forward to the show.